Good morning to all. Welcome to the another section of this online class. So in the last class we discussed about the chapter The Final Speech in the movie The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin. So it is basically a speech by Charlie Chaplin at the end of the movie, which is The Great Dictator. And we discussed the chapter with by discussing going through the textbook itself. So regarding Charlie Chaplin, he was an English comedian, actor, producer and director of silent films. And his last film, which is The Great Dictator, is the only talking film which he has acted, directed and produced. And also most of his films are satires of the socio-political conditions of his times. So this film also is just like a satire or a socio-political conditions regarding during that time, especially during the World War II. So this speech, which is the final speech in this film, is very important that we have to focus on, because this is our chapter that we have prescribed test. So The Great Dictator, which is a comedy written, acted and produced by Charlie Chaplin in 1940. This film is first like a talkie film and a non-silent film from Chaplin, and it is a political satire condemning Hitler and the fascist regime in Germany during the World War II. So this is the background of this film, which is The Great Dictator, and the background which is focused on the World War II. And here Chaplin acts as a dual character, a double role, which is the role of a dictator who is the ruler of Romania. സോ എന്താണ് ഡിക്റ്റേറ്റർ എന്ന് പറയുകയാണെങ്കിൽ ഏകാധിപതി, റൂളർ എന്നൊരു പിക്ചറാണ് അവിടെ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കുക. സോ ഹിയർ ഇൻ ദിസ് ഫിലിം Chaplin who is acted the double role as a ruler or a dictator of the Romania, and also as a Jewish barber whose shop has become a part of the ghetto during the time of the war. So this is regarding the background of this film, in which how Chaplin acted in this film and the political and social background of this film. So this speech, which is most probably can be traced as a form of satire during that time. Especially we can see that especially this speech is satirizing the similarity of appearance between Chaplin's character and Hitler. So Hitler and Chaplin, who are the major two characters that we have to focus on, in which Chaplin acted the role of the Hitler during the World War II as a dictator in this film. So we all know about Hitler, and here Chaplin, who is acted as the role of this Hitler in this film, signifies how a dictator was during that time, how he motivated the soldiers, how he faced the worsening condition during the World War II, and all these conditions are very beautifully and pathetically, I will say pathetically, it's picturized in the film The Great Dictator. So if it is possible, you can watch this film, which is The Great Dictator by Charlie Chaplin, and it is very it's like a incident during which gives a clear idea especially about the World War II during the 1940. So Chaplin as a dictator who is as a dictator or a ruler of Romania, and also as a Jewish barber in this film, shows the transparency or the transitioning effect during that time, in which he was the only one actor, producer and director of that film, in which he focused mainly the socio-political issues in such a way that as like a satire in this film. So this speech, which is also very important, which gives a positive or a powerful way of thinking to all the soldiers who are the listeners of this speech, gives a clear idea about how to focus on their work, which is their project or the process was the World War II itself. So he motivates, or he gives some forms of command to these soldiers in order to get prepared for this war. So Chaplin's speech, which is addressed to the soldiers in the film, he begins this speech by saying that the crowd that he does not want to become an emperor or conqueror anyone. So basically Chaplin do not like to be like a dictator. നമുക്കെല്ലാവർക്കും അറിയാം ചാപ്ലിൻ എന്നൊരു ക്യാരക്ടർ ചാപ്ലിൻ്റെ മിക്ക ഫിലിംസും നോക്കി നമുക്ക് അറിയാൻ പറ്റും ഒരു കോമേഡിയൻ ക്യാരക്ടറായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് കണ്ടിരിക്കുന്നത്. സോ അപ്പാർട്ട് ഫ്രം ദിസ് കോമഡി he moves to a reality, which is the role of this dictator, which is very crucial role during a World War II, and he gives how he tackled all these problems or these conditions in a very typical manner, which focuses on the background of this World War II and also how he motivated his soldiers, a group of soldiers, and we can see that there is a similarity between the character of Chaplin as a dictator and also the character of Hitler. He gives a clear idea about Hitler in this film through this character, especially this character of this ruler or the dictator. So this film focuses on this World War II and how Chaplin focused all the aspects of this World War II, how they have to focus on their duty, how they have to fight against these kind of world wars. So this intention of this film was to give a clear idea about the socio-political conditions during the World War II. Then human beings by nature want to live by each other's happiness, not by suffering or detest. And he emphasized the ability of humanity to live in harmony regardless of color. So this is another important point regarding Chaplin's intention, in which he only gives importance to the humanity, not for the color or the other facts of this life. He only focused on this kind of this humanity, kindness of the people. And during that time he says that he emphasizes the ability of humanity to live in harmony regardless of color, race and gender. So any forms of discrimination on the basis of color, race and gender, he only focused on the kind of this humanity and kindness of a society. So in this film he then talks about how greed has destroyed human souls and divided the world with hate. So greed, which is a very we can say that it is a very negative form of a quality of a human being, in which the greed which results the human souls, which destroys these human souls and divided the world with hate. So ഈ വേൾഡ് വാറിൻ്റെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയ ഒരു ബേസിസ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഈ ഗ്രീഡ് മാത്രമാണ്. മനുഷ്യൻ്റെ ഒരു അഹങ്കാരം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അന്നത്തെ സമയത്തുള്ള ഒരു അഹന്തത, അതാണ് ഇതിനൊക്കെ കാരണം എന്നാണ് പറയുന്നത്. സോ how greed has destroyed human souls and divided the world with hate. So this is the basis of this all the world war, especially the World War II, which is focused on this film. And technology should have brought human beings closer, and also instead human beings are more segregated. The society has become more mechanistic and lost the capacity to feel. So that was another important change during that time, in which the society moved from the kind of this humanity and kindness into a form of mechanistic feeling, and there is no importance to this kind of feeling, emotions and that kinds of good qualities of human. Only the mechanistic, which means that the human beings is like a mechanic or like a robot, in which they are focused only to fight against this kind of war, and there is no kind of this empathy and the kind of this kindness and also gentleness, humanity, and these all forms of good factors or good qualities are neglected during that time, and only the focus was on this kind of mechanistic feeling and also the kind of this greed. And the need of the hour is to become humane and have kindness and gentleness, without which the society will perish. And he addresses the entire sections of people who are suffering. So this speech, particularly this speech, is addressed to a group of community, especially the society during that time. And here, with this speech or with this film, he gives a clear idea about the suffering of during that time. So ഈ വേൾഡ് വാർ സെക്കൻഡ് നടക്കുന്ന ടൈമിൽ ആ സമയത്തുള്ള ഒരു പർട്ടിക്കുലർ സിറ്റുവേഷനിൽ അവിടെയുള്ള എല്ലാവരും എസ്പെഷ്യലി സൊസൈറ്റി ഇറ്റ് സെൽഫ് നമുക്ക് ഒരുമിച്ച് നോക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അവർ മൊത്തം ഒരു സഫറിങ് കൂടുതലായിട്ട് അനുഭവിച്ച ആൾക്കാരായിരുന്നു. സോ ഈ സ്പീച്ചിലൂടെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഫിലിമിലൂടെ ചാപ്ലിൻ പറയുന്നത് എന്താണെങ്കിൽ ടു നോട്ട് ടു ഡിസ്പയർ, and also he gives some kind of positive feeling or commands to this society and the entire soldiers, in which they have to focus on their war or their work in order to win or to succeed in this kind of war. And also the present situation will change, the peace will be restored when people fight collectively against the forces that divides them. So the forces that divides them, which is a very deep, we can see that it is a very important thing during that time, in which the forces that divides them. So who are the forces that divides the world? So he asserts the strength of democracy and the belief in collective strength of the people, and he asks the soldiers to use their reason before blindly following any regime that dictates them. So here is another important command from Chaplin regarding the strength of the democracy and also the belief, it is regarded as the belief of the collective strength of the people, and also he asked the soldiers to use their reason before blindly following the any regime that dictates them. So ഇവിടെ രണ്ട് കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത്. ഒന്ന് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഡെമോക്രസിയെ കുറിച്ചിട്ട്. So we all know that the democracy, which is the belief of in collective strength of the people, and also the second point is that regarding the using of this kind of reason, especially for by this warriors who is regarded as the soldiers, and he asked the soldiers to use their reason before blindly following any regime that dictates them. സോ അവരുടെ യുക്തി അനുസരിച്ച് ഫോളോ ചെയ്യാനാണ് പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതൊരു വളരെ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻ്റ് സംഭവമാണ്. അവരവരുടെ യുക്തി അനുസരിച്ചിട്ട് ഒരു സംഭവത്തെ നേരിടുന്നൊരവസ്ഥ, അതാണ് ഇവിടെ ചാപ്ലിൻ പറയുന്നത്. ദെൻ ഹി റിമൈൻഡ്സ് ദം ദാറ്റ് ദേ ആർ നോട്ട് മെഷീൻസ് ബട്ട് ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ്സ് who can love and have the power to think and act. So the very important സംഭവമാണ്. അതായത് human, they are not like machines, they are human beings, so they can live, so they can love and have the power to think and act. സോ അവർക്ക് സ്നേഹിക്കാനും അതേപോലെ ചിന്തിക്കാനും അവർക്ക് അതേപോലെ തന്നെ പെരുമാറാനുള്ള ഒരു കഴിവും കൂടി അവർക്കുണ്ട്. സോ അവർ പറയുന്നത് എന്താണെങ്കിൽ അവർക്ക് എങ്ങനെയാണോ അവർ ബിഹേവ് ചെയ്യേണ്ടത് എന്ന് അതിനെക്കുറിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു കാഴ്ചപ്പാടാണ് ചാപ്ലിൻ പറയുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് ദേ ആർ നോട്ട് മെഷീൻസ് ബട്ട് ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ്സ് who can love and have the power to think and act. Therefore, instead of blindly surrendering to slavery, they should fight for liberty and justice. So their aim was to fight for the liberty and justice. So therefore, instead of blindly surrendering to slavery, which is the after effects of the war, in which if they lost in this war, they should surrender to this kind of slavery, and instead of this surrendering, they should fight for the liberty and justice. So it is very important to fight for the liberty, which is the freedom, and the justice, which is very important during that time. So these two facts, which is going to focus on during the World War II, the soldiers who are the like a warriors during that time, they should focus on the kind of this liberty and justice instead of surrendering or blindly surrendering to this kind of slavery. Then following in the speech, he says that he quotes from the 17th chapter of Saint Luke from the Bible, that kingdom of God is within man. So it is very important quotation from the Bible, from the chapter Saint Luke, 17th chapter of the Saint Luke. So according to that, the kind of idea that we get is that everyone has the capacity to create happiness and make this life peaceful and beautiful, and also the kingdom of God is within a man. So it is very important aspect regarding this kind of soldiers who are going to fight against this kind of war. Therefore, people should fight collectively for peace and justice. So ഇവിടെ പറയുന്ന രണ്ട് മൂന്ന് കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്, ഒന്ന് ലിബർട്ടി, ജസ്റ്റിസ്, അതുപോലെ പീസ് ആൻഡ് ജസ്റ്റിസ്. സോ ഈ രണ്ട് ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഓഫ് കാര്യങ്ങൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് രണ്ടും അത്യാവശ്യമാണ് അവർക്ക്. ഈ വാറിൽ ജയിക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് അവർക്ക് ആവശ്യമുള്ളത് ലിബർട്ടി ആൻഡ് ജസ്റ്റിസ് ആണ്, അതുപോലെ തന്നെ peace and justice ആണ്. So both are very important while they are going to fight in this war. So their aim was to fight against this kind of divided forces and divided rules, and also to focus on this to get this kind of peace and liberty and also the justice. So these are the very important thing that we have to focus on. Then he reminds the significance of democracy for creating a better world where everyone will have the future, and also dictators who is kind of these rulers, though they make promises of better world, in fact enslave people. So here we have the absolute reality regarding the dictators, in which the dictators who is regarded as the they give some kind of promises for the better world, but in fact in reality they enslave the people. So അത് ഭയങ്കര അർത്ഥവത്തായ ഒരു സെന്റൻസ് ആണ്. ഡിക്റ്റേറ്റേഴ്സ്, അതായത് ഈ റൂളേഴ്സിനെ കുറിച്ച് ഒരു വാക്കാണ് പറയുന്നത്. They are like a kind of giving some kind of promises for the better world, but reality എന്താണ് സംഭവിക്കുന്നത് എന്താണെങ്കിൽ they enslave the people. So it is very important to focus on during the World War II, and especially these kind of words or this kind of instructions is addressed to the group of soldiers as well as the whole society during that time. And so here in this paragraph we get a clear idea regarding the democracy, which is the significance of democracy for creating a better world and where everyone will have a future, and also a reminder for the dictators regarding the dictators, in which they make promises of the better world and in fact they enslave the people. So this very crucial reality during that time, in which they the kind of their attitude of, especially the kind of the attitude of the dictators is very cunning, and they then give some kind of promises and some kind of the very beautifully they give a kind of for the very beautiful we can see that the dictators, though they make promises for the better world, so here we can see that the dictators, though they make promises of better world, in fact they enslave the people. And this is the second last section of this speech, and at the end of the speech ends with the exaltation that in order to save democracy they should unite, and also they should all unite and fight for a world devoid of greed and hatred, devoid of barriers, and a world of reason where science and progresses make human life better and happy. So this is another important facts regarding this speech, in which the end of this speech, which is regarding to save the democracy, and also they should unite, all the soldiers should unite, and they should all unite and fight for a world devoid of greed and hatred, and devoid of barriers. So here is the reminder or the fact regarding the dictators that though they make promises of better world, in fact they enslave the people. So this is regarding the last section of this speech, and in the final at the end of this speech he gives some kind of order to save the democracy, and for to save this kind of democracy during that time they all should unite and fight against this kind of forces. So they should all unite and fight for a world devoid of greed and hatred. So I repeat the terms greed and hatred, which is the negative side of the human being or the human qualities. Then they should avoid or devoid this kind of greed and hatred, and they should all unite and fight for a world which is devoid of greed and hatred, and also devoid of barriers, and a world of reason where science and progress make human life better and happy. So this is the intention of Chaplin in this speech, especially at the end of speech, in order to get or in order to develop a world of reason where science and progress make human life better and happy. So the world of reason, യുക്തിക്ക് പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുക്കുന്ന ഒരു വേൾഡ്, അതായിരുന്നു ചാപ്ലിൻ ഈ അവസാനത്തെ സ്പീച്ചിൽ അവസാനത്തിൽ പറയുന്ന ഒരു സംഭവം. because this kind of the world of reason which gives or which results the kind of the science and progress, and it makes the life better and happy. So we all know that the science and the progress, which is the we can say that together these kind of things are the forms of the development in the or the advancement in the technology. So the technology, the advancement in technology gives or makes the human life better and happy. So it is a very important fact. Though this film was produced in 1914, the intention was the same until now, because we have to get a kind of new kind of the advancement in the technology in order to get a life which is better and happy. So this kind of advancement was only will be succeeded only by a kind of world of reason, and where the science and progress make human life better and happy. So this is the last part of the speech, and at the conclusion we can conclude this speech like this. Throughout this speech, he maintains the connection with the audience. So he only interacts with this kind of audience, who is probably the group of soldiers, and the use of the words like we, us, etc. make it easier for the audience to connect to the speaker. So he gives the commands or the instructions with the words like which includes the words like we and us, which means that they all are going to fight against this kind of war together, not like a dictator and the ruler, or the kind of the soldiers and the rulers. This kind of dictator or the rulers all are unite, and they all are going to fight against this kind of forces, and which makes it easier for the audience to connect to the speaker. So they are all the audience who are listening to the speech, they are interacting with this chaplain or the speaker itself, and repetition of words is another technique which makes the communication of an idea easier. So he repeats the terms like the peace and the justice, and also about the democracy, about the dictators, all these things which it gives by repeating this kind of words, it is like a technique which makes the communication of an idea easier. So though he repeats the words or the ideas again and again, so it is the intention of the repetition was to get the idea very easier. Then here the rhetorical and the repetitive use of words increase the intensity of the ideas expressed by him, and also an emotionally charged speech with a sense, hope and love of humanity makes the audience look forward for a better future. So the speech which we can see, we can say that like a emotionally charged speech with a sense of hope and love of humanity. So ഈ സ്പീച്ചിൽ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഒന്ന് സെൻസ് ഓഫ് ഹോപ്പ്, for a better future, and also another one is the love of humanity. So ഈ രണ്ട് സംഭവങ്ങളും, സെൻസ് ഓഫ് ഹോപ്പ് ആൻഡ് ലവ് ഓഫ് ഹ്യൂമാനിറ്റി, which results the audience look forward for a better future. So they get a kind of positive feeling by listening to this speech, especially for this kind of soldiers, and especially the world society. So this is the conclusion to this speech. So in the textbook from page number 66 onwards, we get this speech, which is the kind of the narration of this audio, or the kind of this speech, which is gives a narration of this speech in a very beautiful manner. So the introduction of the speech was regarding how a dictator is, and then he gives some main ideas regarding the greed, which is greed has poisoned men's souls and has barricaded the world with hate, and has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed the speed, but we have shut ourselves in, and machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge he made us cynical, and our cleverness hard and unkind. So this is another reality which is in the speech itself, regarding the kind of this greed which has poisoned the men's souls, and the results of this kind of greed is that they are like a kind of machines. They do not have kind of this emotions and feelings. Their intention was only to, like a machine, only to perform a kind of task, and they will fulfill that kind of task. And here the task is the World War II. So their intention was to perform or to fight like a machine in the World War, and they do not give any kind of value to this kind of humanity and also the kind of kindness in this speech. And he repeats that we think too much and feel too little. It is very important, in which we think regarding the soldiers and the society. We all think very much, and also the humanity, which is very less in its nature. It is we can see that more than machinery we need humanity. So it is another important fact regarding this kind of humanity, the good qualities of a human being, in which more than machinery we need humanity, and more than cleverness we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. So these qualities, I repeat, the qualities like this humanity, cleverness, the kindness, gentleness, and also this kind of peace. So all these things is very important for a human being in order to make this life in a very happy and a better way. Rather than without these qualities, the life will be like a violent and all will be lost. So this is the just a comparison between the both the good and bad qualities of a human being. So in the textbook, page number 67, the third paragraph, which is from the line, the aeroplane and the radio, which is the kind of this inventions during that time. And he says that the aeroplane and the radio have brought us the closer together, and the very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in man, cries out for the universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. So for everything, for every invention, there is a kind of good and bad side of every type of this kind of inventions. So here the good side of this kind of invention, which is the invention of this aeroplane and the radio, the good side of this invention was to unite together, a kind of universal brotherhood. So they use this kind of aeroplane and also the radio for the war. So we all know that this kind of aeroplane and the kind of radio to pass the messages, both are they used in a very negative manner in order to kill the people, to destroy the country, and to make the country in a very pathetic manner. So here he says that they misuse the kind of this invention, especially the use of this aeroplane and the radio. And also, even now my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men and women, and also little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison the innocent people. And to those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. And also the hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. So it is very important sentence or important word, kind of words by Chaplin, in which the hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. So here in the World War II, the situation was like this, in which the hate of the men, which is by the other dictators, it also the time after the time passes, the hate of men will pass and the dictators will die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. So he continues his speech by saying that so long as men die, liberty will never perish. And then he gives a command to the soldiers: don't give yourself to Brutus and men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives and tells you what to do, what to think and what to feel. So this is a kind of a slavery in which they will decide to what we have to do. So it is very pathetic situation during the World War II. They will enslave you, especially who regiment your lives. tell you what to do and what to think and what to feel, and who drill you, diet you, treat you like a cattle. So it is also another pathetic situation of the kind of the soldiers, especially the world society, in which they treat like a cattle. So it is very pathetic, and use and they use as a cannon folder. So this cannon folder means to like a machine in order to perform a kind of task. So like a cannon, they use all these kind of soldiers like a machines, and it is very pathetic feeling of this World War II. And don't give yourself to these unnatural men, machine men with the machine minds and machine hearts. So this sentence is also important. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men. So who are the unnatural men? He gives a clarity to that word, unnatural men, the machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. So അമാനുഷികമായ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു യാന്ത്രികമായ രീതിയിലുള്ള മനസ്സുള്ള ഒരു ആൾക്കാരിനാണ് ഇത്തരത്തിൽ അൺനാച്ചുറൽ മെൻ എന്നൊരു രീതിയിൽ ചാപ്ലിൻ പറയുന്നത്. സോ ഡോണ്ട് ഗിവ് യുവർ സെൽഫ്സ് ടു ദീസ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് അൺനാച്ചുറൽ മെൻ, മെഷീൻ മെൻ വിത്ത് മെഷീൻ മൈൻഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് മെഷീൻ ഹാർട്ട്സ്. സോ ദിസ് ഇസ് വെരി ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻറ്റ്. ആൻഡ് you are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men, you have the love of humanity in your hearts. So here we have another kind of fact to which is addressed to especially to the soldiers, in which you are not machines and you are not cattle, and also you are men, you have the love of humanity in your hearts. So he gives a clear idea about the reality in which you are all the soldiers who are listening to this speech. He says that you are not like a machine, you are like you are not a cattle, and you are men, and you have the love of humanity in your hearts. So basically all the human beings have this kind of humanity in their mind, and the situation makes them to change their mindset into another level. So here he gives a clear idea about not to give up this kind of humanity, and they should focus on this kind of humanity, and they should realize that they are not like a cattle, they are not like a machine, they are men with this kind of kindness and humanity in their heart. So it is a very important sentence. And only the unloved hate, and unloved and unnatural soldiers don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. So another intention of their this task or this war was to get the liberty, get the freedom. So don't fight for slavery. So and they should fight for the liberty. So liberty, freedom, അതിനാണ് ഇവിടെ കൂടുതൽ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. So their intention was to fight for liberty, and he again quotes from another perspective from the Bible itself, and he says that from the 17th chapter of St. Luke, it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, and in you the people have the power. So it means that you have the power to decide what you have to do, and also the power to create machines, and the power to create happiness, and also you the people have the power to make the life free and beautiful. So we all have the power, which is firstly the power to create machines, and the power to create happiness, and also to the power to make the life is life free and beautiful, and also to make this life a wonderful and adventure. So life as a whole നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ പറ്റും രണ്ട് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് കാറ്റഗറി ഉണ്ട്. ഒന്ന് പവർ, നമുക്ക് എല്ലാത്തിനുള്ള ഒരു മൊത്തത്തിൽ നമുക്കൊരു അധികാരമുണ്ട്, ഇൻ വിച്ച് വി ക്യാൻ ക്രിയേറ്റ് കൈൻഡ് ഓഫ് മെഷീൻസ്, ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ നമുക്ക് നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ഹ്യൂമാനിറ്റി വെച്ച് നമുക്ക് എന്ത് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റും. ഒന്ന് നമുക്ക് ക്രിയേറ്റ് ഹാപ്പിനെസ്, ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ സെക്കൻഡ് വൺ നമുക്ക് അതേപോലെ തന്നെ പവർ ടു മേക്ക് ദ ലൈഫ് ഫ്രീ ആൻഡ് ബ്യൂട്ടിഫുൾ, ആൻഡ് ഓൾസോ ലാസ്റ്റ്ലി though with the help of these kind of things we can create or we can build up a wonderful adventure of life. So this is regarding another important aspect of this speech. So just note these lines from the lines you the people have the power, from the page in the page number 68 to the wonderful adventure. So these are the major quotations that we have to focus on while we discussing, or while we focus on the questions that we have to going to answer. So it is very important. And then in the name of democracy, let us use that power, let us all unite, let us fight for a new world and decent world that will give men a chance to work, and so on. And at the end of this speech, he gives a clear idea which we have discussed today, which is regarding the dictators, in which they make themselves free and they enslave the people. So ഓരോ അധികാരിയും ഓരോ റൂളറും പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് ഈ വേൾഡ് വാർ സെക്കൻഡ് സമയത്ത് അവരുടെ ഭാഗം എപ്പോഴും സേഫ് ആക്കിയിട്ട് സോൾജേഴ്സ്, അതുപോലെ അവിടുത്തെ ആ സൊസൈറ്റി, ആ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഓഫ് പീപ്പിൾ അവരിനെ എപ്പോഴും എൻസ്ലേവ് ചെയ്യാനുള്ള ഒരു തരത്തിലേക്ക് കൊണ്ടെത്തിക്കുന്ന അവസ്ഥയാണ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത്. So it is basically regarding Hitler. So we all know the life of Hitler, and this film is very clear. We will get a clear idea regarding this kind of dictatorship by Hitler. So the truth or the real fact regarding these dictators is that they make free themselves and also they enslave the people. So it is also another important sentence that we have to mark it in the textbook. And now let us fight to fulfill the promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with the national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. So these are another important things that we have to focus on. And let us fight for a world of reason, a world where the science and progress will lead to the men's happiness. So it is also another important aspect or the reality to the future, in which they should focus on this kind of world of reason and a world where science and progress will lead into the all men's happiness. So we already discussed about these things, in which നമ്മൾ എപ്പോഴും ഫോക്കസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത് നമ്മുടെ യുക്തിക്കാണ്. നമ്മുടെ യുക്തിക്കനുസരിച്ചുള്ള ഒരു തരത്തിലുള്ള നമ്മുടെ ഒരു ജീവിതം, നമ്മുടെ ഒരു മൈൻഡ് സെറ്റാണ് എപ്പോഴും എന്ത് റിസൾട്ട് ചെയ്യുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. നമ്മുടെ ഹാപ്പിനെസ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു നല്ലൊരു നാളേക്ക് നമുക്കൊരു നമ്മളെ കൊണ്ടെത്തിക്കുന്നത് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് ഒരു നല്ലൊരു യുക്തിപൂർവമായ ഒരു ജീവിതമാണ് നമ്മൾ എത്തിക്കുക എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. Then at the end of this speech, he gives another command to the soldiers itself regarding the soldiers. In the name of democracy, let us all unite. So it is also another important aspect of this speech, the final word of this sentence of this speech, in which soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite. So the democracy is regarded as a kind of thing to unite the world, or the unite by a group. So here in the name of the democracy, let us all unite. So this is the final sentence or the final advice to the soldiers or the group of people who are listening to this speech by Chaplin in this film. So that's regarding this chapter, a brief analysis of this chapter, the final speech in the movie The Great Dictator. I hope all of you watch the clip, which is the final speech in the movie The Great Dictator, which is also available in the YouTube. I already forwarded the link in this of this speech in the discussion time, and also in the YouTube video description itself. So if anyone have not watched this kind of video, please watch this it's about 5 minutes or 4 minutes. So with the listening to the speech, you will get a clear feeling or emotion of Hitler. Here the role of Hitler is done by Chaplin. So we get a clear emotion by this character who played the role of this Hitler, and we get a clear idea regarding the whole speech and also the whole film with by watching this kind of speech. So go to, if possible, also you can watch the film, which is The Great Dictator itself. So it is very effective in order to focus on this study. So നമ്മൾ ആ ഫിലിം മൊത്തത്തിൽ കാണുകയാണെങ്കിലും, എസ്പെഷ്യലി ഫോർ ഇൻസ്റ്റൻസ് നമ്മൾ പഠിക്കാനുള്ള ഭാഗത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്ന ഈ സ്പീച്ച് മാത്രം കാണുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് ഇതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ക്ലിയർ ഐഡിയ നമുക്ക് ലഭിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. So that's for regarding this chapter. So we discussed about this chapter in the last 2 classes, and discussed about Charlie Chaplin and this speech, and also some major points regarding the film, which is The Great Dictator. So go through all these things, refer the notes that I will provide in the class discussion time, and also watch this film, and also especially the video for who are not watched yet. So go through all these things and focus on this chapter, which is the final speech in the movie The Great Dictator. So that's for today. Thank you.